Hey everybody, it's TJ from the Nashville Wine Duo, and I want to tell you about Anchor by Spotify. It's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me tell you why. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And when hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. So if you're interested, check out anchor.fm for more information. What's up, everybody? I'm TJ.
And I'm Kelsey, and we are
the Nashville Wine Duo. Yes.
You say that because you've been awake since 6 and now you get to drink some wine?
Now I get to drink some wine.
Yes.
Some awesome Trader Joe's Merlot. We'll talk more about that a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, we are in our...
The wine cellar.
The wine cellar with our washer and dryer.
Oh, yes.
But we're kind of made a makeshift wall with a blanket over a TV.
Yeah, we're every episode we're raising the level,
raising the bar,
yeah.
we're figuring it out more.
It's gonna be. Just wait, 10 more episodes.
Who knows where we're gonna be?
You won't even be able to recognize this place.
This is where we have the best sound, unfortunately. So
yeah, it's a smaller room and
yeah.
So.
Anyway, it's been a really, it was crazy. So we both worked at 6 a.m. this morning, and the first thing everybody was talking about was this Will Smith thing. It seems like the entire world.
Well, the first thing I saw this morning at 5 a.m. when I got up to get ready was Will Smith crying for some reason.
How'd you see him crying? What do you mean?
I was just scrolling, and somebody had a video of Will Smith
of him crying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Come to find out, is when he was apologizing to the Academy.
Well, I think a lot of people would say this. Most people, we don't watch the Oscars.
No.
Is that what it was? Was it the Oscars?
Okay,
yeah.
Oscars,
we haven't, and I think most comments I've seen, people are like, I haven't watched it in years. Most people
no, their ratings are down and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so.
It used to be a thing that everybody would tune in to see, but I don't know. I think that there's been a disillusionment with Hollywood in general.
Yes.
And in my opinion, I don't know. I don't think that many great movies are really being put out there as much anymore.
And who wants to see a bunch of celebrities giving praise to other celebrities?
They said there was a movie called Coda that no one even knows, and that won Best Picture or something. And I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it either.
I don't know, and I don't know if this is a result of all the streaming stuff. Anyway, back to the point. Will Smith. It was. So
much.
So wait, who told you about it? Someone came to you at work and was like, "This is what happened."
Yeah, So there was a couple of people talking about how Will Smith went off
and slapped.
No, they didn't say he slapped. They said that he went off on somebody, and I then got a little bit break and had to go and do some research for myself, and then found the whole clip. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy. And then there was all this speculation of if it was real or not. Yeah,
there's a whole it's fake side versus it's real. It was real.
I think
side.
More people think it was real than do fake.
After watching it, because at first hearing about it, I thought, oh, this was staged, trying to get ratings and whatever. But then seeing Chris Rock and Will Smith's
actual faces,
actual response to what happened, I was like, oh, it was pretty heated and legit.
Well, and I immediately sometimes when stuff like this happens, I'll go to the person's personal account and look at the public comments, which I think a lot of people do that. Even when you go into most comments and stuff like this, they're here for the comments, looking at the comments. And, I was reading through some of them, and it was pretty clear right away, the amount of backlash that he's getting. I mean, here's some...
Will Smith?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Will Smith, not Chris Rock. Will Smith. Uncalled for, unfollowing, you've lost your mind. Well, they got what they wished for. Shame on you, Will Smith. That was weak. No one call her G.I. Jane. Tupac sloppy seconds. Oh, I don't even know what that.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Yeah. But overall, the consensus was very negative, and I don't think anybody would do something like that knowing they're going to get this publicly shamed and embarrassed for a publicity stunt.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, because at this point, nobody cares that he even won. Because I guess he went on later to win Actor of the Year, Best Actor, whatever. So this, nobody even cares about that.
Well, and I don't know, again, too, how would it be helping his career in any way.
I don't think it is.
No, it's not. So like, I don't picture like them doing that to help the Oscars.
Right.
Like, I don't think that makes any sense.
No, that would be literally taking one for the team.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't see it. Yeah.
Well, I thought Chris Rock handled himself really well, and I don't know. I just kind of think it was like, I think it's real, and I think it was kind of just, I think it was overreacting.
You think?
Yeah.
Physically assaulting somebody?
Big time.
On live television?
Overreacting. And like the amount of jokes that they've all told each other about celebrities over the years, I've heard like some that are like way worse than that, like atrocious.
Anytime, like we've talked about in previous episodes, anytime you present yourself to the masses or the public, you're opening yourself up to get trashed and jokes made and everything. Right. So it's kind of like...
I think like if you take the high road, like if they were just to sit there and whatever, like it makes them look more confident.
Which I think Chris Rock did take the high road. I mean, he didn't fight back. He didn't do anything. He kind of just took it.
Which again, I don't think it would be wrong to like comment about it like at a later time.
Right. Oh, I bet there'll be something.
No, but I mean, like, if Will Smith hadn't slapped him, I think it would have been okay in the aftermath to have been like, hey, this was a hurtful joke. Like, my wife is going through this. This upset me.
But if you watch the video, Will Smith laughs after he says the joke.
Well, I think he was laughing at the first joke. I think that they just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I do think, though, like, it's okay to, if someone says something that really offends you, it's definitely okay to publicly, like, say, like, oh, this bothered me. I want to clarify this or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So many funny memes, though.
The memes. I can't believe how many memes there are, though. Like, I think this is one of the ones where I've never seen this many in this short amount of time. Like, wouldn't you agree?
It's pretty crazy.
Like, I was online. I'm like, and people are like, who are we listening to? John Chris? I don't know if anybody listens to John Chris.
Yeah, the comedian. John Chris,
He is freaking hilarious. Like, he cracks us up. He makes these hilarious videos. And if you're in Nashville too, like he's done these ones in 30A where he'll like make fun of all the people or Seaside and like all this.
Yeah.
But we just listened to a thing that he said, and this is so true. Like now memes have kind of become like all these like subcategories where it's like, oh, like, so they make, Will Smith slapping is the original meme. And then they'll make it about like, I'm a nurse and I'm upset at the test person, me slapping you, or like, what are some of the other ones? Or like,
everybody's just using it in their
a marketing strategist to their lower superior. Like, all this, like, they interject it into all these jobs, and it's kind of like, it kind of doesn't need to be that many things.
Right. It's turned into everything.
I don't know. It's just funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And it's crazy, like, I wonder why do you think so many people are so obsessed by this? I was going to ask you why you thought that.
Well, I think it's just one of those things, living in the day and age that we do, it went viral. Yeah. I think it just kind of took off and hit its own little stride, and now it's like everybody's seeing it, whether they've investigated and like actually saw the footage, or whether they're just looking at the memes or whatever. Like it's viral now, so you can't stop it once it gets like that. And I do think
that like, I think when a beloved actor, and I would go for most people to say this, I think Will Smith is pretty beloved, like as an actor, like very nostalgic for people. Mm-hmm. Fresh Prince, mm-hmm. So many good movies he's been a part of, and I think that people, in my opinion, I think people are kind of waiting for like those kind of people to screw up, and when they do, it becomes like so viral and so big because it's like now we can knock you off like this high horse that you're on or something like that. And to me, yes, I think it was wrong. I think you should be called out, but even going through the comments, and this is one thing that annoys me about the internet, is like, so people do, I mean, I don't know him personally. I don't know his character or whatever, but like, I do think we need to realize like people can make mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like,
and are going to.
And they don't need to be canceled from society because they messed up.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm not justifying what he did or saying it was right. But at the same time, like, I don't think we need to like give someone a hard time for the rest of their life for making a mistake. And it seems like on the internet, it's become this thing where like, we're going to find something that somebody did a million years ago that they've obviously moved on from, and whoever was involved in their life has forgiven them. But we have to like, you know what I mean?
Totally.
Like I think there needs to be a lot more grace and like forgiveness for people that like mess up.
Well, because here's the thing. Everybody messes up.
Yeah.
Everybody, whether you have that moment on live television, or if it's between you and a best friend or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to lose it and mess up and have things that they regret and are sorry about.
And everyone in this life at one point or another has flipped out.
Yes.
And you're lying if you're saying that you have never flipped out before. And, the last 2 years and everything, and like, who knows what's in the inner workings of their personal lives and their family doesn't, again, make it right.
Yeah.
But...
Well, just before we jumped on to do the podcast, I think you said that Will Smith
he apologized.
Came out and apologized to Chris Rock, which is good.
Yes.
And whether now it's in Chris Rock's.
Well, I think Chris Rock already took the high road by not pressing any charges either. He didn't do anything like that, and so he's just kind of like whatever. Like, I don't know. But
it looks like they were friends beforehand too. There's pictures from the past that have them taking pictures together, so maybe they're acquaintances or. Know each other or something. Maybe there's some little history there.
There's some people I wish I could slap in my life sometimes.
You want to Will slap some people?
No.
Will slap some people?
But
Smith slapped is what the hashtag?
I think
Smith
the last person I slapped was you.
That's another podcast.
Yeah, that's another podcast. But anyway, I'm just totally joking, but it's funny.
Well, we're drinking an awesome bottle of wine tonight. It just came in last week. And
it's a Merlot. Yeah, you want to talk about it?
Everybody's been talking about it. And it is a Trader Joe's Reserve. And we've talked about Trader Joe's Reserves before. There's a Platinum Reserve, a Grand Reserve, which is a black label. The Reserve is, it's almost like this just, I don't know, what color would you call that label?
It's like a cream color?
Cream colored. Yeah. So this Merlot is from the Oak Knoll district of Napa Valley, and it's a 2020, and it is $9.99. And a lot of people have been kind of asking us if we've tried it, and so we bought a bottle last week, and this is our first chance to really dive into it. And I think it's hitting all those things that people were talking about.
Yeah.
It's got nice oak and vanilla, but a lot of blackberry. I'm even getting some like plum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Super smooth.
Yes.
So smooth. And I don't get like a lot of tannin from this.
No.
So if you like a low tannic wine, you're not getting a lot of tannins. You're not getting that like, there's a certain feeling in your mouth that you get from tannins where it almost makes you feel like you have to like immediately keep drinking. It almost like dry. It makes your mouth feel dry, like
definitely.
In a way.
Tannins do,
make your mouth feel dry, and this doesn't, and it's just like unctuous.
Yeah, I would say there's some tannins, but it's not like
very light.
Yeah,
but it's still like a deep-bodied.
Yes, for
wine.
Sure. Yeah. And a lot of people have ideas or thoughts on Merlot. We personally love Merlot. I mean...
Well, yeah, especially when you find the right one. And it's one of the major grapes used to blend, but I think that like now people just look at it like that. But, if you find a good Merlot, like just Merlot, not a blend, like there's really great wine. And so, it's such a good wine. It really, really is. And I think that we were going to talk about like how and why it's lost so much popularity over the past years and kind of has this like bad rep. So why don't you go into that?
Yeah, well, 2004 movie Sideways came out. And
so what's that? Explain like what the movie's kind of about. Sideways.
Yeah, well, I think it's about these guys that go off. The guys are going to get married the next weekend or something like that. And they go off to get away.
I keep thinking this was the other movie. This is a different movie. I don't know if I've seen Sideways. So this isn't the movie where the guy makes the Chardonnay and it goes to
that's Bottle Shop.
That's Bottle Shop. Yeah, okay. So this Sideways.
Yeah.
Oh, I have. Okay, yes, I've seen it. We've seen it. It's just been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But in the one of the scenes, he says, we're not going to drink effing Merlot.
We're not going to drink effing Merlot. Yeah, it says that.
And that became like this whole catchphrase. And from that, we were doing some research on Merlot. And after the movie came, it really killed the Merlot industry. And how much was it by? The sales had dropped by 2% which doesn't sound like a lot, but
yeah, but it is.
But it is. But here's the thing. They were promoting and drinking Pinot Noir in the movie. And Pinot Noir sales went up 16%.
Wow. Isn't that crazy?
Just from a movie.
Just from a movie.
And I feel like maybe the past 4 or 5 years, just my opinion, but others, in the industry might say something else. I feel like Merlot is just starting to come back and people are taking a chance on it.
Well, and I feel like the main wine people have been talking about for the past 5 years has been Pinot Noir.
Well, yeah.
I feel like everyone's like, Pinot Noir, Pinot Noir, Pinot Noir. I hear that talked about all the time. When, when growing up for me, it was like you just hear about, I think, general people that just kind of get introduced into wine, they're just thinking Cab and Merlot. And then that went out of popularity when this kind of happened. Well,
yeah. And again, going shopping, grocery store wines and everything, you see Cabernet Sauvignon, you know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
But if you see another varietal, you're not necessarily familiar with it. So that's why Cab and Sauvignon Blanc and those are, I feel like that Oaky Chard is kind of going
away.
That's becoming less popular. The more people that we talk to, I feel like they want the stainless steel Chardonnays. And so there's just these different trends and everything that are happening. So, but the Merlot one is really interesting. Merlot's an awesome varietal.
It really is. And I really do feel like I never get recommended it at a restaurant. I no one ever talks about it. It's just not a thing. So I don't know if you're interested in trying to try Merlot again, or if you haven't tried it. This one from Trader Joe's is $9.99.
Yeah. Well worth $10.
Really worth $10, and it's just great. And I don't know, it might make you fall in love with it all over again.
Falling in love with Merlot again.
Yeah.
Bring back the romance.
Bring back the Merlot-mance.
The Merlot-mance.
The Merlot-mance. Yes. But yeah, overall, it's been a good week. We actually just got off of a call with...
We did a podcast episode.
Yeah, we did a podcast episode with...
Bravery Wines, which we drank last night. We posted the picture on our Instagram, but we'll be sharing that podcast episode here soon. And we still have a rosé and a Sauvignon Blanc that we need to try and drink from them. So much more to come for Bravery Wines.
Their wines are made in the Finger Lakes.
Yes.
And we really, really, really want to plan a trip there because we've just heard great things and we've had a few wines from there.
Yep.
But we've been very impressed every time. And these are wines we were talking to him and just talking about the price range, and the price ranges for most of the wineries and the wines out there are between I think he said 18 to around 28.
Yeah.
So very affordable, but the quality is super high.
Yes.
So it's great that you can order a bottle of wine and not be breaking your bank, but you're going to get a really high quality.
Yeah. Well, and just doing what we've done, we've heard about the Finger Lakes now for a while, and you hear about these wine regions like Fredericksburg, Texas, or Charlottesville, Virginia, or things, these areas that are really popping in the wine world. And so Finger Lakes is definitely one of those, making some awesome, delicious wine. And so we need to make a trip up there for sure. We did plan our trip to Northern Georgia wine country coming up next month, so we're excited about that.
When are we doing that again? I just thought about that. I was I need to request off.
Yeah. So.
The end of April.
Yes, beginning of April.
Beginning of April?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
I got the dates. I'm her booking agent. I'm her manager. So I just tell her where to go when she shows up.
Yeah, I'm very
Just that tone, how you're talking, it says it all.
So TJ's the go-getter. He's kind of the organizer. And I'm a little bit the one that's just tell me what to do and I'll just do whatever. You know what? It makes it great for me.
So here's what I deal with, guys. We woke up this morning, same time. We had to be at Trader Joe's at 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I got up at 5, took a shower.
Too early.
No, we got to leave by 5:30. It's only half hour.
5:35.
Anyways, see, this is what I deal with. So she gets up at 5:20. We got to leave in 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I come in the room and I say, I love you, babe. And she's sitting on the toilet. And she's not responding to me. And I'm like, babe.
I don't remember this.
I love you. And then she looks at me and she goes, you know what my heart is saying. And she turns around and just keeps doing what she's doing. That's the response I got.
That.
Yes, you did.
Are you sure I wasn't still asleep? Because I really don't remember this conversation.
You might have been
I literally
asleep.
zero
You
remember
might have
this
been
conversation.
Sleeping on the toilet. Yeah, you looked at me and said, you know what my heart is saying.
I swear to you 100%, I don't remember this. I really, 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 really don't. I think I was still sleeping. I don't even remember. The only thing I remember was getting in the car with a blanket. That's it.
There's a lot that happened beforehand. You had to get dressed, like everything. That's crazy. I don't know how you do it. I wish I could roll out of bed and just hop into clothes, 5 minutes, and just go. I can't. It takes me some time. See, I love mornings.
Well, and I hate them.
I know, but I can't just like roll out of bed in 5 minutes, and I've got to like have time to wake up. I got to make my coffee. I gotta wake up. That's why even a shower. Well, I know,
and that's why a lot of people, like when I go into work that early and like I'm just working, like I often get asked like, "What's wrong? Like, are you okay?" And I'm like, "There's nothing." Yeah,
because you might be sleeping at that point still. No, you might be sleepwalking. You might not remember any of it.
I'm not sleeping. I'm just like, you know what? And I just say like, I'm just not a morning person, you know. Not. And then there's some people that are very morning people, and they're, you know, I don't drink coffee. So that's part of it. I don't drink coffee.
So now you're deflecting and blaming things that you don't do so you can have
everybody that works the morning shift drinks coffee.
That's not true.
Who doesn't?
I'm sure there are people. You can't say everybody. Okay, well,
we're going to take a poll when we work next time because I would say a big majority of them all drink coffee.
All right. We'll see. I'm sure there's people there, percentage-wise, that don't drink coffee in the morning.
No, the morning people that work there, majority of them like to work mornings. I am one of the few that completely hates it, but I do it because I have to.
I think you're wrong. I think people work in the morning because they need to.
No, I don't think so. I think you'd ask them, and they would be like, "I like it. Like they love it. They like getting off. They like getting off at 2:00. Okay.
We're gonna take a poll
and all that." But you know what? It's actually, to tell you the truth, though, since we've like been back there, I've been having a lot of fun.
That's a lot of fun.
I've been having a lot of fun. Like it feels like a family. Like there's just people we've known for years, and like you can just go in there, and we're working like the whole time, but like we also can like joke with each other. We have a lot of laughs.
Oh yeah, and it's cool. Like we had Kayla Carter come in today, and she messaged us like 15 minutes before, and she's like, "You guys gonna be at Trader Joe's? I'm coming," and she just came to say hi and talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
I don't know. I think I personally need the human interaction like on a regular basis. Yeah. And I really enjoy that. Like I like it not being, because, we have this whole online thing that we're doing, but like I have to have like real person to person interaction. And I think it really helps develop you like as a human, just to like be around other humans that are 100% different from you, or a lot of them are the same.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it's like there. Like it's just this melting pot of like, a lot of us say it feels like a mini United States or a mini world or whatever, because you have people from all different backgrounds, all different thoughts of life, and we all, you know what, we're a team and we all make it work, even if we are not the same, and we can all be friends too.
God bless America.
No. I did want to say though, one little story about.
I want to hear your story about going to Opry Mills Mall too.
Okay, I'll tell you about that in a second. But first I was going to tell you about, I sometimes have these customer interactions that are like, they stick out in my mind, and I like to, I don't know, remember them, and I talk to TJ about them sometimes, but they definitely do happen there, and we're very inquisitive there. We have conversations with people, and I'm always fascinated by the things that people have been through in their life, especially like elderly people, like people that have lived a lot more life than me.
Mm-hmm.
And, we have to check, and in Tennessee, this is really dumb, but we have to check the ID of every single person that buys alcohol.
No matter what age
even if they look like they're 90 years old. So anybody that's buying wine, they have, like, if they're 90, we have to check it. And they always laugh.
And if they don't have their ID, you can look at them and be like, okay, you're above an age. But legally, we have to ask for an ID.
Yeah.
And then take it from there.
So I had a lady, she was buying some wine, and I looked at her ID, and she was born in 1950. And I was like, I gave her back her ID, and I was like, man, you were 20 years old in the 70s. And she just kind of looked at me and smiled. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, what was that like? And she was like, I was a hippie in Arkansas. And she said, I was like protesting against the Vietnam War. And, she was like, all the music, she's like, I loved it. She's like, it was just a beautiful time to be alive. And we were all like, really, that she felt like I was just part of this group of people that were fighting for like love and peace and she said, I loved that I was a part of that movement, you know, and you just think about like these moments in history that only a certain group of people got to experience. Like, you know, even us, like people alive now, like there are things that we're going through that other people will never go through or understand. And hearing out her story, and then I was just asking her more questions. And then at the end of the, you know, of it all, I said like, thanks for, you know, talking to me. And she was just like, you know, she said, seriously, no one has ever asked me what, like that kind of question, like what it was like for me, you know,
Really?
when I was alive in the 70s. And she was like, that meant a lot to me, like that you were asking about my past and, you know, my life. And so I go all that to say that I think that we can learn a lot from the elderly people and people that have come generations before us, and asking them questions of what was it like to live in the 60s? What was it like to live in the 50s? I think a lot of the time we look back at stories. There's certain things that stick out in our minds. Civil rights movement, obviously, like that's a crazy time. Good things, amazing things happened out of that. But have we actually ever had conversations with people that were from the time period of like Vietnam War and the Civil Rights era and all these things in history that were huge and changed history? So it's a lot different to watch something or look at something. But then do we ever talk to people that are like elderly and ask them, like, not even necessarily like elderly, like super old, but do we ever talk to older people than us and ask them what they learned from it? Mm-hmm. I just think that a firsthand account is going to be one of the best ways to learn about an event.
It's really cool, babe.
It was really cool, and I think I'm just going to do it more. That'll be my new goal when I check people's IDs that definitely are over 35 and they're annoyed by it. But I'll be like, whoa, what was it like when you were alive in the... I've checked an ID from the 20s before.
Wow.
Person 100 years old.
Dang.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. Think about everything that person's seen.
Oh, yeah. Lots.
Nuts.
You sit down and talk to them for a few hours, for sure.
Yeah. I actually really want to like volunteer at like a nursing home or something. I don't know.
You should.
I just find that stuff, I find their stories so interesting. I love old people too. I really do.
Yeah.
What were you going to say? Did you have any fun stories?
No. I want to hear your Opry Mills story.
We don't have any fun...
Nope.
Nobody said anything funny to you this week?
I don't talk to people.
Yes, you do. You talk to people
don't. No.
Okay, he's 100% lying because he's like the biggest schmoozer in the entire world at Trader Joe's. We actually met 2 people today that had never drank alcohol in their whole life.
Yeah, 2 women.
That's pretty crazy.
Moved here from California.
Yeah.
Newport Beach. And they're like, yeah, we've never had alcohol. And these were like these, and they're not going to ever listen to our podcast. They were like the quintessential California blonde soccer mom.
Uh-huh. Yep.
The one kept the sunglasses on the entire time.
Yeah. Inside.
And we were just surprised. Like, I was like, you've never had wine? And she's like, oh, don't get me wrong.
She said if I did drink wine, I'd be a wino.
Oh, she said if I did drink alcohol, I'd be a wino.
Because I was like, well, I really love wine. I just can't imagine.
Yeah. But she was like, it was wild because they were like, we don't drink alcohol at all. Like, we don't get us wrong. We know how to party and have fun, but we don't do alcohol or anything like that. And I was like, wow. So good for you. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I don't have to do that, but good for you.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, that's a whole different type of person, I guess. And maybe they have their reasons. I don't know what their reasons are.
Yeah.
But we didn't investigate or ask that. But yeah, so it was interesting for sure.
Yeah, and then they were like, "We're not crazy." We're like, "We don't think you're crazy."
We don't think you're crazy. Like, if anybody doesn't drink alcohol, we don't think you're crazy.
Everybody can make their own decisions for their own life, and let everybody else alone.
Did you want to tell people about Opry Mills and your review?
I'll close it up with Opry Mills Mall.
Oh you went there on Saturday, little getaway.
I was just like completely shocked. Like,
you haven't been there how long?
Since before the pandemic, so at least two or 3 years.
Yeah, because you and I went there before the pandemic.
Yeah, so probably 2 years.
Yeah. It was middle of the week when we went, so it was like not a weekend. Yeah.
Either way, like I think a lot of people are under the impression that like malls are kind of like not that popular like they used to be, and I almost wonder if like since the pandemic that just like made them more popular now because people can actually go out and like see people and do things again. Like people have this urge for it. But, like, we walked in, I took my 2 stepdaughters with me, and, we walk in, and it was like a sea of freaking people, like a sea. And you know how there's like two lines, so like on the right you're walking straight, and on the one you're walking the other side. So if you went in a store, it would always almost be like you'd have to like get back into traffic, like in New York City. Like you'd be waiting for an opening, and then we would walk around the whole mall like penguins, like just like like that was how it was the whole time. And like the girls were starving, so like we walked into the food court, and you're just like slowly like realizing your options are dwindling when you're like looking around and realizing like this is just a nightmare. Like we're going to be waiting in these lines forever. And
it was that busy.
The lines in the food court looked like they would be like an hour, like that long. And so I told the girls, I was like, okay, let's just like go to like, there's a TGI Fridays or a Chili's in there. We went to Chili's and we went in, and it was like, you saw people walking in and then they immediately walked out. And I was like, I said when someone came out, and they're like 2 hour wait. And I was like, 2 hour wait? Like, why? Like, this is crazy.
For Chili's?
For Chili's,
and
yeah.
TGI Fridays?
Yeah.
Dang.
So we walked around the corner, and they were like, they're hungry and they want to eat. So I'm like, okay, well, and I saw there was an Auntie Anne's like right behind us. And so we got in the line at Auntie Anne's, and we're in line. And so the whole situation, okay, so like I love Auntie Anne's pretzels, but this particular place, like, you could just tell, like, the workers were, like, kind of on their phones while they were making the pretzels.
But they're busy.
Two of them didn't have gloves on.
But they're busy.
They were busy.
Yeah.
And it was just, there was no urgency to make the pretzels. It was kind of like, we're just chilling on, like, whatever.
Busy Saturday
and they have,
afternoon.
like, 30, 40 people in line.
Right.
So we're going through the line, and then we're seeing all the pretzels. Like, we talk in the line about what we want to get. And,
right.
I want the regular pretzel, I want the pretzel cup, and then I want the cheese and all this. So like, okay. And as we're talking, we're seeing the pretzels all being taken out of the...
So as you're moving closer, your options are
going
limited.
away. And like all that's left in there is the cinnamon ones. So clearly no one wants the cinnamon ones. And there's this one that's kind of like this pizza one that looks like it's been in there for about 4 hours. And one of my stepdaughters was like, I want the pizza one. I was like, it looks like it's been in there like a really long time. And she was like, that's what I want. And I was like, all right. And then someone takes it, and she looked at me and was just like, okay, that's not happening. That's not an option. So then we see them like get this like 2 giant trays of like the pretzel bites, and then they just like pour them into a bucket of butter. I was kind of like, okay, I don't know about this anymore. And so we got the pretzels, we ate them, and we all each only ate half because they were kind of soggy from all the butter, and the cheese tasted really weird.
So it wasn't really...
So it was, but what else? I think any experience at that mall eating food there at that time wouldn't have been great. I just have a feeling from how busy it was. I don't think that it was like, let's just give these people food. It doesn't matter the quality of it.
Yeah.
But then we saw Wetzel's pretzel and regretted because the Wetzels looked really clean. The girls there looked all like they were all about
Wetzel's
it.
Awesome. Being from Chicago, that's what I grew up on, Wetzel pretzels.
Yeah.
So.
But it was just a sea of people. It was crazy. And then when we were leaving, it was about 4:00. And as we were going out, we noticed everyone that was coming into the mall was then being checked their IDs. There's a police line. So they wouldn't let you into the certain area of the mall unless you went through police check-in. And apparently they started anything on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I think, where if you're not have a guardian with you, you can't go into the mall.
What?
Yeah. If you're not like
18
over 18
or whatever.
Yeah. Because probably could help with like dangerous situations or something.
Wild. I never even heard of that.
Yeah.
Law.
But hey, the deals were great. I didn't get talked to by any of those
kiosk people?
Kiosk people trying to sell the hair stuff. There was a lot of really weird things at those kiosks, though. But overall...
What was the weirdest thing you saw in the kiosk?
The weirdest thing... there was like these like... what was it? They were like rose chocolate teddy bears or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
They were weird. They just looked weird.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's other stuff that I saw, but I kind of like blocked it out.
Yeah.
It's just weird. But anyway.
You might have been sleeping.
I was not sleeping. I was definitely awake. Trust me. Anyway, we're going to go back to the mall this week because I bought TJ some shirts and they're too big. So.
But we're going midweek.
Mm-hmm. Midweek.
So we don't have to deal with the drama.
Well, who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. People are like, the mall's a thing again.
So all that to say, don't go to Opry Mills.
On the weekend.
On the weekends.
Yeah, Yeah.
Unless you've been drinking.
I mean, even then, I don't know if you should. I don't know. It was still a good time, though. I had fun. I had fun with the girls.
Good.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks
drink some Merlot.
Drink some Merlot and
tell us what you're drinking. Message us. Instagram, Facebook, our website.
Comment. Yeah. Tell us
keep...
what you think about Will Smith. If you think it was fake or if you think it was real.
Smith slap. Yeah. So
he's probably drinking some wine tonight or something.
He's definitely drinking something tonight. So. As usual, we appreciate your support. Please rate the podcast, leave your reviews, like it, share it, all that good stuff. And cheers, baby.
Cheers.
Merlot. It's Merlicious.
Merlicious.